Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wrong One's podcast. I'm Dinesh Saki, joined by Amar and Pang. Jens, how are we?
Hello, guys.
Yeah, good man.
How are you?
Apologies. Somehow, every time I start my podcast, my Wi-Fi chooses to give up on me, and it only happens when I'm on the podcast. The rest of the time, it seems to work brilliantly. So I'm not sure if it's the Wi-Fi or if it's StreamYard or if it's something else. But if there's any lag, I do apologize in advance. Talking about lag, obviously, there's another team in IPL who seems to be lagging behind, SRH. After all the promise they've shown in the first game, and then obviously chasing 246 against Punjab, everyone's like, "Oh, this team has arrived, and from now on, it's going to be like they'll just probably break the 300 record or a 400 record." But looks like they're struggling to score 150. Obviously, the game against Mumbai, apart from Henry Klassen with his contribution of 71 and maybe a impactful impact innings by Abhinav Manohar with 43. There's not much really from the batting side, but I definitely want to point out something that happened, which is strange and obviously questionable for a lot of people on social. Ishan Kishan and the way he chose to get out. I mean, it's not like the bowler appealed. It's not like the umpires decided to give him out. So just for everyone's benefit, obviously, just to refresh everyone's memory, he got he for some reason thought he nicked it leg side to the keeper. Keeper Ryan Rickelton never appealed. Neither did Chahar. But then he started walking, so the umpire had to obviously give him out, which was strange in itself. And then all of the Mumbai squad, I don't know what they were thinking. They actually thought maybe Ishan Kishan knew he nicked it, so he chose to walk away. He's done like good for himself, and he's like for the team and obviously the game. They started applauding him. But then
Mhm.
obviously since then we've seen a lot going on the socials. So I would definitely like to hear your take, because one of the things I've always heard and from the commentary and like cricket itself is the batsman always knows when he nicked it 99.9%. Even the umpire doesn't give it out, there were comments in the past saying you nicked it, why you not walking away, why you waiting for the umpire. But today, well, in this game, what happened is he never nicked it, but he still chose to walk away. So yes, that's the background. So yeah, maybe Punk, I'll start with you, your
Okay,
inputs.
okay. So I'll bring you back to an incident here, which has happened
Mm-hmm.
2019 or 2017, 2019, I think. So it was with Mohammad Amir was bowling to Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli was India was a 300, it was a 50 overs game, right? And a similar incident happened where Virat Kohli, the ball went over his head, and he heard a nick, and he walked away basically. And then the umpire on the other side, I forgot his name, right? He nodded and like he did like that, and then he went out. So they show in the in the replace that there was no nick.
Replace, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, there was no nick at all. And then Virat Kohli, what the hell, why did I walk away, right? In the mind. Now this incident, I'll give the benefit of doubt to Ishan, right? So there's a mindset as well, that's a secondary thing. But just the honesty side of
Mhm.
if you see the first, like the ball, it felt like it nicked in, right? And he walks, and then he walks and he turns around, right? He walks out, like as if he's nicked out. He walks and then he turns around, right? To come back to this, and then he sees the umpires putting the hand up, right? It was a, like, if suppose he wouldn't have, like, just played around a bit, how most of the people do, right? There has, like, just the slight thing that nothing has happened. He actually thought he nicked and he went, and then he thought that
Mhm.
the umpire hasn't given back. He tried to come back. Yeah, if you see the angle which I've
Mhm.
seen, like, he tries to come back to the crease.
Yes,
Then the umpire is
I've seen that
actually,
too. Yeah.
the
Mhm.
umpire was trying to do something, the umpire
Yeah,
then
umpires
goes
like
back.
figuring out
Yeah,
what am I
then
supposed to
he's
do here? Can
figure
someone
out,
guide
like,
me?
okay, is this guy walking or is this guy, that is, the comedy of error.
Mhm.
Okay, now the problem here is, Now let's come to the batsman mindset. This is when you are low on confidence. You see, when you're low on confidence, sometimes what happens, like you're not there in the correct mind, that I want to play this game. Like, you understand, sometimes it happens, right? You're very low in confidence. You come, last few games, just the first game you played, and after that you've just been going out, right? That low in confidence suddenly like gives you that anxiety feeling that, you see, that is what took him over at that point of time, right? And that anxiety basically, makes you that mistake. You feel you might have nicked it because your luck is so bad. you know it's that, but it is basically, it's a comedy of error from the the wicket keeper, sorry, the umpire. And with Ishan, he thought he nicked, he
Mhm.
walked, he tried to come back, but that guy put his hand off. That's it. If you see the entire video. But it also is low on, the entire thing was he was a bit low on confidence, and that's the reason you crave for your wicket to be there, right? A lot of people want to be there on the crease, right? To do something. That has been like lacking in this game from Ishan, right? And that's why I felt like, he just walked off. You see, sometimes it happens, right? You're not there and thereabout.
Amar, do
So
you agree?
it's happened with Virat Kohli in 1 or 2 seasons back as well, when with Bangalore. He was going on a very lean patch. He was going out to some really ridiculous shots, and you could see that, and he was just like, "What the fuck is happening with me? Like, why I'm here?" Sometimes it happens with people, but yeah, that's my view. But it is more of a comedy of errors. Basically, that's what I can say.
It was a comedy of errors, but I'm really surprised that the things happened the way they happened. Um, First of all, I would say a batsman knows if he has nicked or not, whether low in confidence or not. If you're low in confidence, probably you nicked it, and then you just say, okay, yeah, just don't give out, please. But but in this case, he he did not nick it, and he thought he has nicked it, which is kind of strange. And then he walked. I don't understand why he would walk in game. I mean, there are two or three things. First of all, okay, he was from Mumbai, and maybe he thought, if I've nicked it, then I should just walk off because this is against Mumbai. But then again, you are in a your team is in such a situation. They're not winning matches, and you are literally one of the most important players in their bat. And even if you had thought that you had nicked it, why would you walk? You wouldn't walk. I I'm 100% sure that he will not walk um, next time, or even he wouldn't have if any other team was playing. So maybe it was for Mumbai. Whether he knew that he had nicked it or not, um, I'm thinking a batsman would know if he had nicked it or not. So I have no what made it strange. The whole incident was made even stranger um, by the umpire, because he had no clue what was going on. First of all, he gives it wide, and then Ishan Kishan was just he had just taken a couple of steps, and then he thought, no, he had to give it out. I mean, if he would, if he had taken like 10 more seconds to just observe, observe and absorb both what had happened, then I would have said, okay, um it justifies. He really thought that he was walking and off, and then because it was so quick. The quickness of the events is very strange, because if you see someone walking, then and you thought that it is a wide, but then you saw someone walking, then you will think for a couple of seconds, like, oh, what happened here? It is a wide, he's walking, or maybe it's out. Then he gave, and the quickness of the events is just crazy. But anyways, it was comedy of errors, as Punk mentions. um but I don't think he will walk off ever again.
I
And
don't
I don't believe in, like, in IPL, people will walk off like this, especially for that team who hasn't been doing well for a player who wants, who needs runs to be there. He needs to make runs to be back for India, to perform for his own franchise as well, and solidify his position. It's really really strange why the way it happened. So my take is, every batsman knows he has nicked or not.
Yeah, so sometimes also like just to benefit a doubt, right? And like that's why I wanted to bring that Kohli incident, right? The ball was not touching, but there was a noise, there was a gap between. What happens is like sometimes the bat also, you have that click of a noise, right? you f- and you feel that you might have nicked it because the noise has come, sometimes the edge, you have that,
Yeah, but the
you know
thing is, does he
but
walk every single
that's like,
time? If
no,
if
no. So
Ponting was doing it, we would understand. Okay, he does walk off. Oh, no, sorry, Gilchrist. Gilchrist
Gilchrist did it, but
walks
yeah.
off.
See, the thing is because
Ishan
like,
Kishan does not
if
walk off. And in
yeah,
an
I
IPL
like
game playing for SRH,
because the
where
umpire
you
was
have
like,
to solidify
if the
your
umpire was doing this, the
position,
umpire was
I
already like
don't think
doing that,
so. No, 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 not at
so
all.
yeah.
I won't. No one believes that. I mean, that he was confused. Um, but
But yeah,
it is
anyways.
strange. That's all I can say.
But obviously, to like Punk put it out right for the benefit of doubt, let's just say both Empire and Ishan Kishan had a brain freeze.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The umpire
Hence,
would should not have raised his finger
the
until
result
there was a
yielded
referee.
the way it yielded. But I don't know if there's more to it or if it's just one of those incidents, But yeah, like you said, no, every batsman would know. And then even if someone like Ishan Kishan was struggling for runs and he knows how much is required in that team on that particular day, even if he nicked it, even if the umpire has given it
Exactly.
out, he would have gone for a review and try and save his wicket somehow rather than walking
That
away.
should have been
But
the
only
ideal
the only
thing. Yeah.
person who could answer this is Ishan Kishan. So Ishan Kishan, can you please come on Wrongman's podcast and clarify what happened?
I, I think he wouldn't.
Please explain
Obviously,
yourself
he can't
to
go for a
us,
review because he
our
himself
viewers,
is
and
walking off.
Yeah.
So obviously, that's why you can say that okay, he
yeah,
wouldn't review because he was walking off. He thought it was out. So um, if it was, I think umpire should have done a review more than anything else on his
absolutely.
decision.
If he wasn't sure, he should have just said, "Okay, hang on, wait, I'm going to check with them." Like umpire, see, have you heard something? If not, like review it to the third umpire and say, like, it's not like umpire has to two reviews, and if he's going to lose one, if he goes to the third umpire. So, yeah, maybe it's down to comedy of errors, but yeah, let's probably leave it there. But yeah, Ishan Kishan, whenever you have time, do let us know.
Please come
We'll
on.
send out the link to you, and you can come and explain yourself in terms of how this happens, so that we can avoid having such incidences going forward. And then I also put some blame on Abhishek Sharma for being on the non-strikers end, not stopping his partner from walking away, and make him review it because he knows how important this game was. So, yeah, let's just blame everybody else apart from Ishan Kishan and the umpire here.
Actually, it is umpire and Ishan Kishan who were wrong, both
Umpire
sides.
was totally
Yeah,
confused, or I
Yes.
don't know. He was
he,
so
he,
quick
He
just,
lifted
to.
he
his
didn't even know
hand.
what to do.
He was so
Yeah,
confused.
he
He
went
was
like
so
this.
quick to
He was
overrule
like, should I give
his
wide?
own
Then
decision.
he
Yeah.
should I give out? And they started like scratching his
Yes.
head, and he's like, okay, let's give out.
So it was like, yeah.
And the funny part is
Anyways,
also if we
let's
see
look
the
at
entire
the.
episode, also look
Yeah.
at Deepak Chahar's reactions. He's like, oh, do I have to appeal now? Oh, okay, let me appeal, sort of thing. So
What should I
that's where
do? Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
all got a little bit strange. But yes,
I don't know.
yeah,
These things
let's
keep on
probably
happening. I mean,
leave
whenever
it there.
Mumbai is playing these things, comedy of errors keep on happening.
Yeah, maybe we should also request Mr. Akash Ambani to jump on a podcast and clarify some of these things on behalf of the team.
Mm. We want answers.
I'll let our producer make some calls and see, if he can get something done for us.
Yeah.
But yes,
Let's make
on the
that
flip
happen.
side, from SRH standpoint, a terrific innings from Class into obviously, from being like 44-5 whatever that score is to obviously score that brilliant 70. And Abhinav Manohar who walked in as an impact sub, he sort of contributed as well to help put a reasonably good score for MI to obviously chase. But then obviously Mumbai had other ideas. More importantly, Rohit Sharma. What an opportunity and what an occasion for him to bounce back to form and score that 70 alongside Rohit Sharma. But yeah, alongside Surya Kumar Yadav. From the minute he started hitting some form, looks like fun. So maybe Punk, I'll start with you in the Rohit's form and how all of a sudden MI are looking like the real contenders to obviously make it to the top four and even probably go all the way.
Um, we don't know who you are asking, so I will start. Um, of course, the
I
batting
said Punk,
effort.
but yeah, go on.
Okay, yes, I will start with Sunrisers batting as well because they batted first, so might as well talk about them first. Um, I don't know what's happening with Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma. Abhishek Sharma did, of course, these are the guys who take on the bowlers early on, and they don't hang around, right? They go for their shots from the minute they step foot on the pitch. And Travis Head, he had been unlucky. In a way, he we have seen that he at times is lucky early on. So this time, it's just a matter of time when luck favors the bowlers. Abhishek Sharma, on the other hand, even though it looks like he just plays every shot, but um, uh, the luck factor kind of favors more in a way. If you are hitting the ball right the middle of the bat and your bat is straight, then more often than not, you will the luck will favor you because the percentage of not getting out is higher, or getting an edge is high. Not getting an edge is higher. But Travis had sometimes he likes to play more of the cross shots, so there you can get edges, and you can see some of the balls which he just skies the ball, and um if there is a little bit of movement early on, then he kind of gets into trouble. So that's what is happening with Travis Head, I think. Abhishek Sharma, one day he falls, the other day he makes runs, so I think that is what is happening. I don't want to talk about Ishan Kishan because he could have made runs. Nitish Kumar Reddy is also not in the runs column. And if you see any to for any team to first top three not performing, the day they're not performing, I don't think they will have a good day on the field. The runs will be low because then what happens, the middle order comes and they try to save the game. They are batting to save the game, that's it. They're not trying to put 200 or 300, but they are like they're batting to save the game. And that's what happened. Heinrich Klaassen and Abhinav Manohar, they made 71 and 43, and they kind of did the rescue act, but also in the end, they tried to put some runs so that they can have a winning total. But 143 was always a low score in Mumbai. Um, so which you can see, when Mumbai batted, Rohit 70, Will Jacks 22, and Suryakumar Yadav 40. It was their backyard, and they sorry, it was in Hyderabad, but it was a batting.
Yeah, I was supposed to say this game is in Hyderabad. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it looked like it was like their backyard. They batted that way,
Mhm.
and good to see Rohit Sharma back into form. He played all those shots which he likes, 8 4s and 3 6s. So when he bats like he never stopped batting. Balls comes off from his bat. Um, from the middle of the bat, every single ball. So, and Will Jacks is good to see him getting runs, and so Suryakumar Yadav is also back into form. We have seen him score runs in the previous matches as well. So it is looking like last time we talked about Mumbai is looking really good because their batsmen are making runs. Ryan Rickelton in the previous match he made runs. Rohit Sharma made runs in this one, and Surya Kumar Yadav was also. And like Punk also mentioned previously, because of the Bumrah factor as well, their team is looking really really good now.
Punk, anything you want to add
Yeah,
on
I'll
MI?
just summarize a few things, right, on both the sides, actually. Just like summarize the entire
Hmm.
story. So with Abhishek
Sure.
and with Head, right? they need to play a few, like, if it's a flat track, right, and if it's not swinging, it's fine, right? Both of them are like going too hard on the first few overs itself, right? If they give some time to themselves, they have the capability, right, of increasing your strike rate 200, 200 plus. It's just that, like, when the ball is swinging, and if you see the head ball which went out, right, it was a swinging ball, right? He went out on a swinging ball, right? He could have just taken some time, played some grounded shots, right? Good, get few fours maybe, or like what size with Arshan and Subham Gill are doing, right? And then they can accelerate, right? Now that Deepak Chahar, for example, and then you have Bolt. Both of them are swing bowlers, right? Uh, More often or not, right? The first 2 overs to 3 overs maybe will be swinging you. You just need to ensure that, like, you're playing some good shots, percentage shots, where you are able to get runs. You don't have to, like, two for three. I'm not talking about that. Like, at least get 6 runs per over in the first 2 3 overs, right? And then you can accelerate, because after the ball won't swing, right? And that is the reason why SRH is having a problem here. Both the opening batsmen, right, the pitches which are being given, and the bowlers who are being given upfront to these batsmen are swing bowlers, if you see, right, and they're getting out to the fast bowlers itself, right, where they have a very good chances of hitting those runs. So just they need to give that 2 3 overs upfront to the bowlers, and then it's your time, to accelerate. So that's something which, and that's why, and like this year I will say the most disappointing team in terms of your batting lineup. And it's not that, like, there's no intent, and it's not like nobody has shown form. A lot of these guys have shown form, right? And despite of having that form, you are right at the bottom of the pyramid table. Yeah, that, like, for me, SRH, based on what the auction is and based on the lineup and the bowling attack, everything, they have been the most disappointing team. CSK is slightly different, because CSK is, the entire lineup and the batsmen they have, they don't have the capability of power hitting at all. So the auction has gone completely wrong for them. But here, you having that quality batsman, right? This is like the Zenzi of batsmen, right? People are like, it's the strongest batting lineup, uh, and then they're not able to perform, is, something is seriously wrong. And that's where your first, the 1 2 3 4 batsmen are just coming and not giving enough time to play. And in this match itself, Klassen showed, right, how you can still continue, and he got the 77 runs. It's because, he gave some time, he played around, and you saw it opened out for them, and then he went out, right? And, like, I'm telling you, like, if you lose 4 5 wickets, yeah, it's fine. But if those 4 5 wickets gives you 100 runs in like 10 overs, right, you will still reach 180. If this game, right, if you see the number of wickets which fell down, the 35 for 5 in the eighth over, okay, so that means even the risk you're taking has not generated in, maybe if you hit 1 6 and then you tried for hitting another 6, you went out, made sense. You see, these guys did not even contribute the runs towards the wicket at all. And if they had, like, say, 65 for 5, or 85 for 5 in the eighth or ninth over, it still made sense that, okay, they went out, they got the runs, they accumulated the runs for that risk they've taken, right? They got 35 for 5, and from there you could only get another 100 odd runs, 110 which where the score went 140. If they had 85 for 5, and from there you would have easily gone to 110, it would have still been a good score. I'm not saying it would have been a bad score, but still 190 runs is a lot of runs for people to chase. So this is what the team, SRH team, has to understand, if what type of risk you're taking towards losing your wickets as well, right? So this is something which the management and, like, they will be looking at. And definitely in my last podcast as well, I told, like, NKR, right, needs to come as a power hitter. Send Aniket, who is now in form. NKR is having a bit of a challenge in terms of trying to rotate the strikes. He's a bit confused of what he needs to do, right? Because the mindset is to go and open out and play, but you've lost so many wickets up front, you just can't go open out and play, right? You need to, if you want to open out and play, then send him at, like, number 7, and the guy who's in form, they should go up, which I hope so. In the next game, you would see that, which they will do definitely, right? So that's in terms of the SRH thing, and this is based on the last podcast. Also, I've told Ankara needs to come at 7 after Aniket. So that's one, and Klassen definitely needs to go up above, because that he can actually, this game he's shown that you can like if there's wickets fallen, he can still continue, and he's your power hitter for spinners. So between 6 to 14, this is what I've told. Klassen has to come between 6 to 14. That's where he's very strong. So that's in terms of this thing. And yeah, with Rohit and with if you see, Rohit gave some time. The first shot he hit was after the second over, when the ball swung less, you see. So Rohit also knows when to hit those shots, right? After 2 overs, when the ball if you see the first hit is given, it's after this the second over, set 2.1, 2.3. That's when he hit the first six. The first 2 overs, he played two or three, four balls maybe, and then the other guys, like, so this is what I'm trying to say, that even the greatest players, right, they understand, if the ball is swinging, you just can't go blindly hitting around. Give After 2 overs, the ball will swing less. Everybody knows that. The white ball hardly swings after 2 or 3 overs, right? And then you have more percentage shots to take forward, right? And Rohit, like, from the CSK game, he's just carried his form. He's taken that time. And the other thing is, with Surya and other guys, the they're already in form, and they've coming in a situation when there's a lot of dew. Okay. And Surya is one of the best players of spin, right? And he's giving you that ample opportunity for Rohit to continue batting for longer, right? Rohit does not need to go bang 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 all the way, right? Now he can actually play an anchor innings as well. So he gets you the start with that 150 to 200 strike rate, then he brings it down. He plays a little bit of an anchor role, and the other guys around who are really good players of spin and all that, they are going bang bang around him, right? And he's trying to continue being not out. So 2 games he's done that, you know and you see, and both the games are chasing, right?
Yeah.
And that's where they are now looking very, very strong. uh, and with Rohit's form, he was technically the weakling, but even as a weakling, when I was talking about, he never ate up any balls. Whenever he
Hmm.
was batting, right, even the 5 balls he played, right, he used to contribute 10 to 15 runs, right, which definitely helps to the team score. You're not sitting on 15 balls and giving 5 runs, then your team is always chasing up, you see, as an opener. But even if you're contributing 10, 15, 20 runs and just taking, like, 10 balls, you're still contributing towards your team score, right? 25, 30 runs is a very good score. If you can do it in 10, 15, that's 200 strike rate. So that's, Rohit has given you the small percentage of contribution, right? But now he's like contributing more. Then you can see how dominating the team is now. So he was the weakling
Yeah.
who's actually now become, he's understood, and he's playing that role now. Most probably somebody has given to him, by take some time, become an anchor. And there are a lot of power hitters around. You don't have to be power hitting. So Mumbai is definitely looking very, very strong. I'll be surprised if they don't qualify. They might win the title as well, with Bumrah there, and two
Yeah,
good
and
bowlers in
with
Chahar.
confused umpires as well.
And yeah, and with Trent Bolt, who's got one of the highest number of wickets in the first over itself, right? And Chahar, both they've got a very, very good core now. So yeah, kudos to Mumbai coming back really strong, and it was a very, very good game, for Mumbai actually.
Yep, I think Dinesh's internet must be playing up. There's a lag there. So like, yeah, like you mentioned, yeah. So the Trent Bolt as well coming back and taking 4 wickets there. So and he has taken all important wickets. Like we have seen team Travis Head, Abhishek Sharma, and on Manohar as well. So it was a good game for Mumbai in SRH home, and I think, yeah, like you mentioned, they are looking very strong, and it's the time to peak. It looks like they always peak later half of the tournament, but this one was really touch and go. So, but they are there now, and as as Mumbai is rising, SRH is falling. So. We kind of see a turn in tables as well. So yeah, So I would say that's today's podcast. And Mumbai is in ascendancy, and Sunrisers are in descendancy. So yep. Thank you very much, Punk and Dinesh. We will get back with another episode of Rongpan's podcast for the games coming up. Have a good night, and yeah, see you soon.
And don't forget to press the bell button.
Don't forget to press the bell icon and subscribe.
Cheers.
Thank you,
Bye.
Punk. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.